Coming off a winning week 8, let's finish strong with Monday Night Football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to finish week 8 with a beautiful Monday night game that we have. It was another crazy Sunday, just capped off by the Commanders' Hail Mary touchdown that I just saw right before we recorded this. Just another wild weekend, but we had a good weekend. We won over 2.5 units so far. Let's keep it rolling. We got that Sunday night video out with the 2 bets, so hopefully we get some winners there, and then we end it strong here with this Monday night game. But quick reminder, NBA Best Bets video will be out after this video for the Monday slate, so be sure to check that out. But any graphics you see will be from an app called OUTLIER. You guys know it. I'll keep it short and simple. It is the best player prop research tool out there on the market now. I use it every single day. It is incredible. Click the link below in the description, 7-day free trial. But I'm ready to get into it. And I got an NFL fun fact, and it's super simple. You may already know it. Players didn't wear helmets until 1943. And they were made of leather, by the way. Quite a bit different than nowadays. But in this video, we're going to recap that entire week 8 that we just saw on Sunday. And then we're going to preview and give our best bets. I got 2 of them for the Monday Night Football game. It is an absolute beauty between the Steelers and the Giants. And then we'll finish it with that recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Help this channel continue to grow. I appreciate all of you. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 31,000 subscribers. I'm ready to get into it. And it starts with the recap. Here is the full week 8 recap. We like to go over all our bets so we can see what was good reads and just kind of talk through them and everything. But we won 2.65 units. We'll take it. It was a couple yards away from being so much better. But how about a 3-0 on the game bets, sides and totals? Falcons moneyline got the job done because, like I mentioned, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is absolutely atrocious. And that was a nice one. They tried to make it a little sweaty at the end, but over 44.5 Baltimore Cleveland. The second half, they really picked up the scoring. Jameis Winston is so much better of a quarterback than Deshaun Watson. And then teaser, another easy teaser win. Gotta love it. 2 in a row. Chargers -1, Commanders +9. Commanders won outright. Chargers won by a couple scores, I believe. I don't know what the final score ended up being. That was an easy one. Player props. Romeo Dobbs, this guy should have been the one I laddered. He easily beat this line. It was a first half cash. And then Cedric Tillman absolutely crushed this. If I would have laddered Dobbs and Tillman, we would have hit the parlay, but unfortunately I didn't. Brock Bowers, my boy, if you guys watched the game, it was just atrocious. I mean, honestly, there wasn't many pass attempts. Gardner Minshew was just spreading the ball all over the entire field when he was throwing it. I think Alexander Madison, the running back, had as many catches as Brock Bowers. I saw him open on a couple plays. Minshew wasn't even looking at him. He falls at 58 receiving yards. They did not have the ball much in the second half at all. He had like almost 40 going to the second quarter or something like that, and then just ended with 58. I mean, it was a bizarre game, but either way, we didn't hit it. And then Kyler Murray decided not to run. I don't know what to tell you. He only had a few attempts and just didn't want to use his legs today, which is always the risk with those quarterback rush yards. So those ones, unfortunately, let us down. Added play last night, Joe Mixon over 76.5 rush yards. That was a winner. And then obviously the ladder had absolutely no chance for a half unit sprinkle. And then we still have those 2 Sunday Night Football video bets out there. Like I mentioned, we're now trying to do every single weekend. We're going to have a video just for that Sunday night primetime game. Those are the 2 bets in the recap. We don't know what's happening because the game's just about to start, or it has just started as we're recording this. So hopefully we get 2 more winners there. And then the one thing that let us down, it was just brutal, guys. Anytime touchdowns, I've told you guys this many times. This is why I only sprinkle a quarter unit on each one, because they require a lot of luck. The Atlanta Falcons had 4 receiving touchdowns and not 1 went to London Bridge. That's right. It just is what it is. A.J. Brown had an okay game, just didn't get the touchdown. And Tyreek Hill did not get a touchdown either. Jalen Waddle, I believe, did. It just wasn't their day. And again, touchdowns require some luck for sure. But either way, quarter unit each on those. We can survive that. Up 2.65 units. That is the first page. And then let's check out the second page for the overall record. There's the complete breakdown just to kind of help you guys out, know what we've been doing well at, what we haven't been. I did not get a trends parlay out this weekend. But the ladder parlay, we've won 1 of 6, but we're still up somehow. So 62 and 65, up 2.02 units. We're in the positive, but I want better. That's just not good enough, and we got all season to get it better. So that's what we got for the bets recap. And now it's time to preview the Monday Night Football game. All right, we head out to Pittsburgh where the Steelers host the New York Giants in an absolute beautiful game. Steelers -6. Total in this one is 36 points. Let's talk some preview and trends before we get into the best bets. Giants have gone under in 16 of the last 22 games, an absolute under machine. Steelers looked a lot better with Russell Wilson at quarterback last week. That's how bad Justin Fields has been, but they had their most total yards in a game at 409. Giants coming off two straight losses where they scored a combined 10 freaking points. It has been ugly. Injuries for the Giants, the big one, it happened a week ago. Tackle Andrew Thomas is out for the season, but that's a huge loss for their offensive line that already wasn't very good. Another offensive lineman, Illuminor, he looks questionable last I saw, but then I also saw one that he might be probable, so just something to keep in mind. Steelers, Justin Fields is questionable. Does that matter as much? He's not the starter. And then center Zach Frazier will be out again. So I have two best bets. The first one is a player prop. Let's get into it. It is George freaking Pickens over 59.5 receiving yards at -110 on BetMGM. Pickens is a very good wide receiver. Not enough people talk about him, I don't think, but the change to Russell Wilson was huge. Now, as a Seahawks fan, I watched Russell Wilson quite a bit, and I know one of his strengths was him being able to throw the deep ball. And I knew this would help George Pickens because he's a guy who can make some big plays down the field. And we saw that last week. So let's hop into Outlier now and check out some stats on Mr. Pickens. As you can see, 2024 right there, over in 3 of 7 games. I get it. It doesn't look great if you just want to do that. But this is about the matchup and about Russell Wilson for the most part. But he has had 3 games over 100 receiving yards. So when he goes and has good games, they are extremely good games. And 2 of those are with Justin Fields. That's not easy to do. I'm not going to lie. But only 1 with Russell Wilson over 100 yards. 50 plus yards, though, in 5 of 7. So, I mean, he's right there in a majority of his games. Last week with Russell Wilson, second most air yards in the NFL with 152. They are throwing him the ball deep down the field. A huge A dot of almost 17 yards. That's average depth of target. He had over 100 receiving yards, as you guys know. He averaged 22.2 yards per reception. He is a big play guy. I'm going to keep saying that this video. He caught a 44-yard pass, and all this was versus the Jets, who are a much better pass defense than the New York Giants. But if you go over there to the matchup, you can see the Giants, 12th best in allowing receiving yards to wide receivers. Okay, so it's about average. Nothing special, but I also will say this is receiving yards to wide receivers. Some teams are just kind of running the ball in the fourth quarter, not throwing it as much. Which I know that is a possibility, obviously, here. But I think if they have somewhat of a blowout by the fourth quarter, it's going to be because George Pickens caught some big, deep passes. Now let's go over to check one more thing out before we talk about this. But the target share is absolutely insane. We scroll down here. It's not even close, guys. George Pickens, 29.6% target share. The next guy is the tight end Freiermuth at 16.2. Only 2 guys are above 12%. Those 2 guys are the only ones. Pickens now has 7+ targets in 5 straight games. So let's talk some wide receivers versus Giants and why I love this because of the big play where he could get this in 1 or 2 catches. A.J. Brown, 89 receiving yards against the Giants. He had a 41-yard catch. T. Higgins, 77 receiving yards, had a 24-yard catch. Jamar Chase, 72 receiving yards, 33-yard catch. Tyler Lockett had 75. He had 1 catch for a 33-yard. DK Metcalf had a 22-yard catch. He had 55 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 98 receiving yards, including a 55-yard bomb. Amari Cooper, 86 receiving yards. That's right. When he was on the Browns, he still had 86 receiving yards with Deshaun Watson, and that he had a 24-yard catch. As you can tell, they give up a lot of big plays to wide receivers, and Pickens is one of those guys that makes this big splash play. He's going to get peppered with targets, so he's not just a deep guy that gets 3 or 4 targets. Like I said, 7+ targets in 5 straight games. If this is somewhat competitive for most of the game, I really do think that we're going to see at least 7 targets, probably maybe 8 to 10 targets. He is Russell Wilson's go-to guy. We have a better quarterback behind center now. So give me George Pickens over 59.5 receiving yards. That is my first best bet. And the second one, we're going back to the teaser. That's all right. We got a 6-point teaser. Give me the Steelers money line under 42 at -120 on DraftKings. This is a half unit play. As you guys know, a teaser taking at 6 points in your favor. Steelers -6 right now. We take it down to 6. All they got to do is win. Takes it down to the money line. I did the math for you. You're welcome. Giants are an absolute mess. Like I said, they lost their best offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas. I expect Pittsburgh to get a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones, and Jones is going to make mistakes. He's just not a very good quarterback. I'm going to be honest. He's just not good. I know Malik Neighbors is now playing again after last week was his first week back after the concussion. But the Giants are not going to be able to rely on the run game. The Steelers are a top 3 run defense. It has been absolutely elite. And I actually like Devin Singletary under rush yards, by the way, as well. But Steelers offense, they looked so much better with Russell at quarterback. I think Najee Harris has a good game here. I think they can kind of pick and choose how they want to win this. But either way, the Giants are just completely awful. I would be shocked if they went into Pittsburgh and somehow won this game, other than a game against my Seattle Seahawks, who again this week looked absolutely horrendous and are proving not to be a very good team at all. But the Giants with no run game, there's just no way. And with pressure on Daniel Jones, I don't see them scoring much. I think the Steelers win this game. Steelers -6 is a big number. I just like it to win the game. And then the under 42. You heard the trend. Giants are an absolutely huge under team. Only one game this season has New York gone over this total, and that was against my Seahawks. Again, they don't know how to play bad defense. They're in a terrible spot with a Thursday night game coming up. But Giants games are averaging 35.3 points per game. Giants have scored under 10 points in 3 games this season. It has been bad. The O-line is a mess. The run game will not be there against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Daniel Jones will be pressured. He will not score a lot. Now, the Steelers, I think they could score some points here against the Giants. But the one thing the Giants can do is pressure the quarterback a little bit. So I think that will help slow them down on a couple drives at least. But the Steelers, when I talk about their defense, by the way, second fewest yards per carry, 3.6, just absolutely elite. But I think the Steelers, they don't need to just light up the scoreboard or anything. I think they're going to play it conservative once they get ahead. And I think we see like a 20-13 type game. I think it actually goes under the normal of line of 36, which, if you remember from before the season, lines that are 37 or lower, the hit rate was crazy on the under on those. But either way, I just see this being kind of a grinded out, ugly game. Give me 20-13. I'm taking it all the way up to 42, and I need the under, so I like that one. So give me the Steelers money line under 42 as my second best bet. And before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, quick correction. I did say George Pickens had gone over 100 yards 3 times. It was actually twice. The other one was 85 or more yards. Either way, absolutely love it. Give me Pickens over 59.5 receiving yards, -110 on BetMGM for a half unit. And then a little 6-point teaser, same game parlay. Steelers money line under 42. You pick the Steelers -6, and then you pick under 36. You hit the teaser button and it takes it 6 points, -120 on DraftKings. That's for a half unit. So that's what I got for you for Monday Night Football. Hope you guys had a great week 8 in the NFL. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like button, and also go check out that NBA Best Bets video out for Monday as well. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.